Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FUTU Holdings fourth quarter and full year 2023 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After management's prepared remarks, there will be a Q&A session. Today's conference call is being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. I would now like to turn the conference over to your host for today's conference call, Daniel Yuan, Chief of Staff to CEO and Head of IR at FUTU. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks, operator, and thank you all for joining us today to discuss our fourth quarter and full year 2023 earnings results. Joining me on the call today are Mr. Leaf Li, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Arthur Chen, Chief Financial Officer, and Robin Xu, Senior Vice President. As a reminder, today's call may include forward-looking statements, which represent the company's belief regarding future events, which by their nature are not certain and are outside of the company's control. Forward-looking statements involving inherent risks and uncertainties. We caution you that a number of important factors could cause actual results to differ materially from those containing any forward-looking statements. For more information about the potential risks and uncertainties, please refer to the company's filings with the SEC, including its annual report. With that, I will now turn the call over to Leaf. Leaf will make his comments in Chinese, and I will translate.
感谢大家参加今天的业绩会。在第四季度，我们晋增了超过 5.9 万名有资产客户。截至2023年底，我们的有资产客户超过170万，同比增长 15%。23年的全年的客户增长超出了我们年初的指引。
Thank you all for joining our earnings call today. In the fourth quarter, we added over 59,000 paying clients. Our total paying clients as of year-end reached over 1.7 million, representing 15% growth year-over-year and exceeding our guidance.
第四季度，新加坡的获客继续保持高速增长。在高利率和市场高度波动的背景下，货币基金持续获得客户青睐。12月，我们与富敦基金管理公司合作，独家分销了一支新元货币基金。这支基金也是新加坡市面上唯一一支专门面向零售投资者的 T+0 新元货币基金。
Client acquisition in Singapore sustained high growth into the fourth quarter. Money market funds continue to garner significant client interest amid high interest rate and market volatility. In December, we became the first and only distributor of Fullerton Fund Management Singapore dollar-denominated money market fund, the only T+0 Singapore dollar money market fund for retail investors in Singapore.
凭借我们丰富的市场信息、全面的金融数据以及活跃的社区，我们在日本持续占领用户心智。根据 Data AI 的数据显示，第四季度 Moomoo APP 在日本的日均下载量在所有券商中排名前3，超过了本地老牌券商野村证券和松井证券。随着日经指数录得显著涨幅并不断创下新高，一季度日本的获客数量环比增幅明显。我们持续优化开户流程，减少从用户到有资产客户各个环节中的流失。我们也在持续推进关键产品上线。12月，我们上线了成长型 NISA 账户，我们计划在不久之后上线日股交易，也预计会在2季度为香港和新加坡的客户提供日股交易。
We continue to gain user mindshare in Japan with our rich market information, comprehensive market data, and interactive social community. In the fourth quarter, the average daily downloads of Moomoo app in Japan ranked top 3 among all brokers and surpassed those of Nomura and Matsui Securities, according to Data AI. With Nikkei recording remarkable gains and hitting new highs, client acquisition in Japan also showed a notable sequential increase in the first quarter. We continue to streamline the account opening process to reduce leakage in the conversion funnel and focused on R&D for key investment products. We launched NISA Growth Account in December and will soon roll out Japan Equities Trading. Our clients in Hong Kong and Singapore will also have access to Japan stock trading in the second quarter.
第四季度，由于香港市场情绪低迷，本地获客速度放缓，但今年一季度随着香港股市的复苏有所反弹。在美国，我们继续关注客户质量，新增有资产客户的户均首季度净入金环比增长约 30%。在澳大利亚，我们专注于品牌建设以及产品上新，并于4季度上线了现金管理产品。
Client acquisition in Hong Kong slowed down due to sluggish market sentiments, yet rebounded in the first quarter along with the recovery of the Hong Kong stock market. In the US, we continue to prioritize client quality over quantity, with the average asset balance of new paying clients in their first quarter of onboarding increasing by over 30% compared to the last quarter. In Australia, we focused on cultivating brand equity and adding new products, including cash management.
今年的2月26日，我们在马来西亚正式上线了证券经纪服务。业务上线以来，获客势头强劲，上线1周内，开户客户超过3万人，这是我们所有国际市场中增长最快的。过去3年，我们在新加坡的市占率增长迅猛，品牌影响力辐射范围广，所以我们从上线初期就在马来西亚积累了较高的知名度。
On February 26th, we launched brokerage business in Malaysia and gained significant traction. Over 30,000 clients flocked to our platform within 1 week of the official launch, representing the fastest growth in any of our international markets. We managed to generate high brand awareness in Malaysia from the outset, thanks to our rapid share gain in Singapore over the past 3 years.
今年，我们在各个市场都看到了有资产客户强劲的增长势头。今年前2个月的净增有资产客户和净入金规模已经超过去年第4季度。鉴于今年至今为止的强劲势头，我们预计2024年净增35万名有资产客户。
We observed robust paying client growth across all markets this year. In fact, we attracted more paying clients and net asset inflows in the first 2 months this year than the entire fourth quarter. Given the strong momentum year to date, we're guiding for 350,000 net new paying clients in 2024.
客户总资产同比增长 16%， 环比增长 4%， 达到4860亿港元。环比增长主要得益于客户每股持仓市值的上涨，以及各个市场强劲的净入金。在新加坡，由于各个 cohort 客户入金都很强劲，客户总资产和平均资产分别环比增长 25% 和 17%， 户均资产超过 1.7 万新元。随着我们的品牌影响力的不断增强，Moomoo得到了越来越多高净值人群的青睐。
Total client assets increased by 16% year-over-year and 4% quarter-over-quarter to 486 billion Hong Kong dollars. The sequential increase was largely due to robust net asset inflow across all regions and the market appreciation of our clients' US stock holdings. In Singapore, total client assets and average client assets posted sequential increase of 25% and 17% respectively. Average client assets was over 17,000 Singapore dollars due to strong inflows across cohorts. As we continue to build brand equity, Moomoo gained traction among high net worth clients in Singapore.
截至季度末，融资融券环比增长 2%， 虽然每股的融券余额有所上升，但部分客户在4季度卖出头寸，从而导致融资余额下降。
As of quarter end, margin financing and securities lending balance increased marginally by 2% quarter-over-quarter. While we saw an uptick in securities lending balance for US stocks, margin financing balance declined as clients unwound their positions.
总交易量为9570亿港元，同比、环比均下降 12%。第4季度末，港股和美股交易量同比分别下降 13% 和 12%。港股整体情绪疲软，头部美国科技股交易量下降，均拖累了总交易量。第4季度，我们在香港衍生品市场的份额稳健增长，成绩亮眼。港股期货和期权的份额分别为 8.5% 和 14.7%。
Total trading volume was 957 billion Hong Kong dollars, down 12% year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter. In the fourth quarter, Hong Kong and US stock trading volume were down 13% and 12% sequentially. Weak sentiments around Hong Kong equities and lower turnover in US tech stocks dragged total trading volume. Our share gains in the derivatives market in Hong Kong was a bright spot. Hong Kong futures and options trading had 8.5% and 14.7% market share in the fourth quarter respectively.
财富管理的客户资产达到580亿港元，同比增长 82%， 环比增长 11%， 占总客户资产的 12%。4季度，为了收获稳定收益，客户不断增加对货币基金和美国国债的配置，因此债券规模环比增长 60%。本季度， 我们继续丰富结构化产品的供应，上线了累计认沽期权票据，该产品可以让客户以溢价出售其股票持仓。
Total client assets in wealth management increased by 82% year-over-year and 11% quarter-over-quarter to 58 billion Hong Kong dollars, accounting for 12% of total client assets. Clients increased their allocation in money market funds and U.S. Treasury bills to harvest high yields. Total bond holdings, as a result, increased by over 60% quarter-over-quarter. We continue to enrich our structured products by onboarding the accumulator note, a product that allows clients to sell their stock positions at a premium.
截至4季度，我们的企业服务有414家 IPO 分销和 IR 客户，同比增长 24%。在第4季度，我们作为联席账簿管理人，参与了多宗大型香港 IPO， 其中包括极兔速递和优必选。2023年，我们累计承销了37宗港股 IPO。据万德统计，我们的港股 IPO 承销数量位居行业首位。
Our enterprise business has 414 IPO distribution and IR clients, up 24% year-over-year. In the fourth quarter, we acted as joint book runners for several high-profile Hong Kong IPOs, including those of JMT Express and UV Tech. We underwrote 37 Hong Kong IPOs in 2023 and ranked first among all brokers, according to Wind.
接下来有请我们的首席财务官 Arthur 介绍我们的财务表现。
Next, I'd like to invite our CFO Arthur to discuss our financial performance.
Thank you, Leaf and Daniel. Before going through our financial performance, I'd like to give you an update on our latest share repurchase program announced on March 11, 2022. As of December 31st, 2023, the expiration date of the program, we had repurchased an aggregate of 11 million ADS with approximately $365 million total repurchase amount in open market transactions. We have put in place a new share repurchase program which approves and authorizes us to repurchase up to $500 million of ADS before December 31st, 2025. Now, please allow me to walk you through our financial performance. All numbers are in Hong Kong dollar unless otherwise noted. Total revenue was 2.4 billion, up 4% from 2.3 billion in the fourth quarter of 2022. We ended 2023 with full year revenue growing 31% to 10 billion. Brokerage commission and handling charge income were 904 million, a decrease of 14% year-over-year and 10% Q-over-Q. The decrease was mainly driven by lower trading volume. Interest income was 1.3 billion, up 17% year-over-year and down 11% Q-over-Q. The year-over-year increase was mainly driven by high interest income from clients' cash deposits due to higher benchmark interest rate and higher margin financing income due to an increase in daily average margin balance. The Q-over-Q decrease was mostly driven by the lower interest income from clients' cash deposits due to decrease in daily average client cash balance. Other income was 137 million, up 46% year-over-year and largely flat Q-over-Q. The year-over-year increase was primarily attributed to higher fund distribution income, partially offset by lower enterprise public relationship service income and underwriting fee income. Our total costs were 433 million, an increase of 27% from 342 million in the fourth quarter of 2022. Brokerage commission and handling charge expenses were 59 million, down 8% year-over-year and 6% Q-over-Q. The decrease was roughly in line with our decrease of our brokerage commission and handling charge income, partially offset by the cost of migrating our SGX equities to our self-clearing system. Interest expenses were 271 million, up 49% year-over-year and down 6% Q-over-Q. The year-over-year increase was driven by higher interest expenses associated with our security borrowing and the lending business and the higher margin financing interest expenses. The Q-over-Q decrease was mostly due to lower interest expenses associated with our security borrowing and the lending business, partially offset by high margin financing interest expenses. Processing and servicing costs was 104 million, up 7% year-over-year and 21% Q-over-Q. The increase was largely due to higher crowd service fee for new markets and higher system usage fees. As a result, our total gross profit was 1.9 billion, largely flat year-over-year. Gross margin was 81.7% as compared to 85% in the fourth quarter of 2022. Operating expenses was up 12% year-over-year and 3% Q-over-Q to 916 million. R&D expenses was 363 million, up 9% year-over-year and 1% Q-over-Q. The year-over-year increase was mainly due to increase in R&D headcount as we continue to support new product offerings in international markets. Selling and marketing expenses was 182 million, up 19% year-over-year and down 14% Q-over-Q. The year-over-year increase was due to a 41% year-over-year increase in net new paying clients, partially offset by lower customer acquisition costs. And the Q-over-Q decrease was due to fewer net new clients and the lower customer acquisition costs. G&A expenses was 370 million, up 12% year-over-year and 15% Q-over-Q. The increase was primarily due to an increase in headcount for general and administrative personnel, partially offset by lower professional service fees. As a result, income from operations decreased 9% year-over-year and 22% Q-over-Q to 1 billion. Operating margin declined to 43.1% from 49.1% in the fourth quarter of 2022, mostly due to operating deleverage. Our net income decreased by 9% year-over-year and 20% Q-over-Q to 876 million. Net income margin shrank to 36.9% in the fourth quarter as compared to 42% in the same quarter last year. Among our international business, Singapore was the first to achieve break-even on a quarterly basis, even with apportioned costs from headquarters. As client assets continue to grow, we believe the unit economics in Singapore will maintain an upward trajectory. That concludes our prepared remarks. We'd now like to open the call to questions. Operator, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. To ask a question, you'll need to press star 1 and 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. To withdraw your question, please press star 1 and 1 again. So once again, that's star 1 and 1 to ask a question. Please stand by while we compile the Q&A roster. Thank you. We'll now take the first question. Please stand by. First question today is from the line of Cindy Wang from China Renaissance. Please go ahead.
好的，谢谢管理层给我第一个提问的机会。那我这边有2个问题想请教。第一个的话，可不可以帮我们展开一下，就是说日本开户现在的目前这个黄金流程的一个优化的进度，以及开户的状况，在第4季度以及第1季度的一个变化。那我们预估，是不是在第1季度尾的时候就可以正式上线这个日股的交易？然后第二个的话呢，想请教一下，因为我们有看到2024年这个新获客数现在预计是35万嘛，那这个数字其实是比市场上来的预估其实是来的高的。那可不可以就这几个大的市场，比如说香港、新加坡、日本、美国等等，帮我们拆分一下？那我很快翻译一下我的问题。Thanks for taking my call, and I have two questions. First one is, what's your progress of improving account opening process in Japan? And could you provide more color on new paying clients acquisition in fourth quarter last year versus first quarter this year so far in Japan? And when would you expect to launch Japan stock trading? And the second question is regarding to the new paying client. So we see the new paying client target of 350,000 in 2024 is very impressive. Could you break down by key markets, including like Hong Kong, Singapore, US, Japan, etc.? Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. I will take your second question first, and will leave the first question to my colleague, Daniel. In terms of our new targets for 2024, the contributions from Singapore, Hong Kong, and the Australian, these existing markets, on absolute terms, should be similar to last year. So the incremental growth drivers mainly come from certain new markets we entered into this year and recently in the fourth quarter last year. such as Japan, Canada, and Malaysia. Thank you.
Hi, Cindy. This is Daniel, and I'll take your question on Japan. So in the fourth quarter, we continue to optimize our account opening process and to integrate the redundant processes and pages in that process and to iterate on the key friction points. And we have seen, therefore, a very meaningful increase in the conversion rate from users to registered clients, to paying clients. But in comparison to other international markets, there is still a lot of room for improvement in that conversion number. And to continue to optimize that account opening golden process will be a key priority for us this year. And in terms of Japan equities trading, yes, we are planning to roll out the Japan equities trading to our Japan clients by the end of March. And then in April or May, we're going to roll out Japan equities trading to our clients in Hong Kong and Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question. And this is from the line of Chiao Huang from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
感谢管理层给我提问的机会，我是摩根士丹利的分析师黄志尧。我想请教一下管理层，就是能不能再进一步介绍一下这个新加坡的这个进展，包括咱们在新加坡的这个客户的数量和现在整体的客户资产在全部客户资产中的一个占比。那么在24年，咱们对新加坡这一块有什么样的一些新的这个策略？那么现在的这个竞争环境看起来有什么样的变化？那么同时还很重要，就是想了解这个新加坡的客户现在他们的风险偏好有没有什么变化？特别是随着美股其实从去年4季度开始也比较强劲，他们是否有更多的意愿去这个交易股票，而不只是这个买卖一些基金等等等等。我简单翻译一下。My question is on the Singapore. So what was roughly the client number and the client asset contribution on the overall firm basis? And also wonder what's the strategy in Singapore for 2024 and how's the competitive landscape changing in Singapore? And also what's the risk appetite evolving for Singapore clients in 24 given the US market is still performing quite well? Are they trading more stocks? Thank you.
Thank you, Chiao. My colleague Robin will answer this question for you.
Hello， 你好，感谢提问。我来回答一下这个问题啊。那4季度新加坡我们整个的获客速度是保持了稳健的增长，那为集团大约是贡献了30%左右的净增的有资产客户。那这主要是得益于存量客户的持续的净入金和新客户质量的不断提高。那新加坡的期末总资产和户均资产分别实现了25%和17%的高速增长。那总资产规模也是自展业以来每季度都保持了这个强劲的增长势头。那另外就是有资产客户的户均资产也连续6个季度保持这个上涨的趋势。那截止4季度末，那已经超过了17000新币。那随着我们在新加坡的品牌信任度的不断增强，以及产品矩阵和客户服务的不断完善，Moomoo也会得到越来越多高净值人群的青睐。那高净值业务的增长也保持了比较好的一个势头。那另外就是我们看到了新加坡经济模型在过去2年是在逐渐优化的。那我们是考虑到了这个总部的成本分摊后，新加坡分公司在4季度是首次跨越了这个盈亏平衡点。那今年初以来也看到了很好的一个增长势头。那另外就是另外一个问题是关于我们现在整个新加坡的投资客户的一个投资结构和风险偏好的问题。那我们的确是在美股加息的这个美国这个加息的这个窗口期是在市场上在主打这个我们的 Cash Plus 的产品。但随着这个降息预期的发展，那我们也会根据这个客户分层、客户结构来去引导一些当下或者是未来更适合他们的一些投资产品吧。我觉得这个都还是可以去进一步期待的。好，谢谢。
So in the fourth quarter, Singapore recorded very steady client growth and contributed about 30% of our total net new clients for the entire quarter. And thanks to the continued net asset inflow of our existing clients and the higher quality new clients, the total client assets and average client assets in Singapore recorded 25% and 17% sequential growth respectively. And the total client assets recorded sequential increase for every single quarter since we launched the business. And average client assets have been on an upward trajectory for 6 consecutive quarters. And as of the end of last year, average client assets in Singapore was over 17,000 Singapore dollars. And we believe that as we continue to enhance our brand awareness, to diversify and enrich our product offerings, and to improve our client services, Moomoo will continue to attract more high net worth individuals. And we've also seen the unit economics in Singapore to continue to improve in the past 2 years. And taking into account the costs from the headquarters to support Singapore, the Singapore subsidiary broke even for the first time during the fourth quarter, and we have seen very good growth year to date. And in terms of clients' risk appetite, so during the past rate hike cycle, we started to promote our Cash Plus product, which is the money market fund product, and we continue to cross-sell different investment products based on our clients' risk appetite. And this year, we have seen very strong traction in U.S. equities among our Singapore clients. Thank you.
非常感谢. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question. This is from the line of Yu Fan from CICC. Please go ahead.
好的，谢谢管理层给我这个提问的机会，我是中金公司的分析师樊优。那我这边有2个问题想请教一下。首先第一个的话是关于这个综合的佣金率，那我们看到其实这个季度环比进一步还是有所提升的，想请教一下背后的原因。然后第2个问题是关于这个获客成本，看到其实这个季度整体的获客成本环比也是有比较明显的一个下降，也是想请教一下背后的原因，然后包括咱们后续各个这个新市场继续加大展业之后，怎么去展望未来的一个获客成本趋势。我这边快速翻译一下。My first question is regarding the blended commission rate. We see the commission rate increase this quarter, so what's the reason behind? And the second question is about the CAC. So we see the CAC decrease a lot this quarter. So what's the reason behind, and how do you view the future trend of the CAC?
Thank you. I will take these 2 questions. For commission rate, the combined take rate is almost flat Q-on-Q basis, on a Q-on-Q basis, slightly up because of the product mixture and more contributions from our derivative products. Then for the CAC, we further optimize different marketing campaigns channels to control and even decrease our CAC, which bear very strong results in the fourth quarter. And looking forward and based on the year-to-date situations, we do expect this year the CAC number will decrease compared with last year, hopefully by 10 to 20% year-on-year basis. Thank you.
好的，谢谢，非常清楚。Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question. Please stand by. Next question is from the line of Emma Xu from Bank of America Securities. Please go ahead.
谢谢给我这个提问的机会。我这边也是有2个问题。第一个问题就是刚刚我们重点介绍的新加坡，就是客户的这个质量在持续的改善。那我也想问一下，就是说其他的这几个主要的国际市场，我们的客户质量变化是怎样的？就是沪均资产有没有也在改善呢？然后包括香港市场的话，随着我们更多的去获取这个线下客户，香港客户这边的那个客户画像或者这个整体的资产规模，平均资产规模有没有变化？然后第2个，对，能听见吗？然后第2个问题是想问一下关于成交量的，就是成交量的话，其实在4季度也跌到了一个 换手率也跌到了一个历史的低点，然后香港市场这个成交不活跃，其实也比较理解，因为市场情况确实不好。但是美股的话，成交量也这个看起来成交量也是有一个比较明显的下滑哈。但是其实美股4季度表现还可以，然后包括1季度美股也是有一个持续的很好的表现，所以就想问一下，我们应该去怎样思考这个换手率和市场表现的关系？然后1季度的话，我们是否看到了这个换手率啊、成交量啊，从4季度的低点有一个明显的反弹呢？ So I have 2 questions. The first one is about the client quality in other international markets. You mentioned earlier about the positive progress in the Singapore client quality, but how about other international market? Do you also see improvement in the average client asset? And for your Hong Kong market, with you penetrating into the mass market, how will the client profile and average client assets change? And the second question is about your trading velocity and trading volume. It declined. The trading velocity declined to a record low in fourth quarter, and it is quite understandable that the Hong Kong trading velocity declined due to the weak market. However, U.S. market actually performed quite well in the fourth quarter, but your U.S. trading volume also declined. So how should we think about the connection between the market performance and your trading volume and your trading velocity? Do we see a notable rebound of your trading velocity in the first quarter?
Thank you. I will take your second question first and leave the first question to my colleague Daniel. In terms of trading velocity, you are right. The trading velocity is down in Hong Kong and the U.S. In the fourth quarter. Despite the U.S. stock performed very well in the fourth quarter, but it remains a very strong, continuous uptrend for the whole quarters. So most of our clients actually use a buy and hold strategy to enjoy the rallies. And the implied volatility in the U.S. markets in the fourth quarter actually went down compared with third quarters. So the trading velocities, decrease. Actually, based on our humble observations, is in line with a lot of other U.S. discount brokers operating matrix as well. Then in the first quarter this year, so far we have seen a very healthy pickup. Not only in the U.S. but also in Hong Kong in terms of the trading volume and also the trading velocity. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. This is Daniel, and I will take your question on the client quality in international markets. And actually, we have seen an improvement in average AUM not only in Singapore but also in our other international markets, including the U.S., Australia, and Japan. Mostly because unlike some of our other peers, I think Futu really cares about quality growth. And net inflow of AUM is a key KPI, very important KPI for all of our marketing teams across different international regions. And in the fourth quarter, we have seen very strong AUM inflow despite weak market sentiments. And in the first 2 months this year, as Leaf mentioned in his opening remarks, we have a higher net asset inflow in the first 2 months of this year than the entire fourth quarter combined. And actually, over 1/3 of that net asset inflow comes from international markets. So we'll expect a continued upward trajectory in our client assets across international markets. And for Hong Kong, in the past couple of quarters, we continue to attract older clients, especially with our offline store. And we have seen that these clients typically have higher average assets, but because of the large base effect, these new clients didn't change the overall client profile much in Hong Kong. Thank you.
Thank you. This is really encouraging.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question. This is from the line of Leon Qi from Daiwa. Please go ahead.
好的，非常感谢给我这个提问的机会，我是李昂齐小亮。有2个问题想请教一下管理层哈。首先是在我们这个香港的营销策略上，因为刚才讲新加坡讲的比较多了，刚才也听到管理层讲这个 新的有资产客户的指引上面，就是明年香港新增的有资产客户是跟这个就24年是跟23年差不多的。那么随着我们香港现有的这个有资产客户的基数越来越大，不知道管理层会不会这个逐渐把这个业务经营上面的重点从获客数一点点转向客均资产，就想了解一下这个管理层在这方面是怎么样打算的第二个呢是想请教一下我们美股，这个我知道我们技术上已经是可以自清算了，但实际上是不是美股完全都已经自清算了？我们自清算之后，除了对于我们净利收入的帮助之外对于我们的这个交易效率是不是有提高？不知道这方面是不是有一些这个美国的同业可以给我们对比，比如说像 Interactive Broker 这一些。好，我这个用英文翻译一下Thanks for taking my questions. This is Liang Qi. I want to ask two questions today. Firstly, is on our Hong Kong marketing and client acquisition strategy. Just now, management shared a lot of details on Singapore, but I'm interested in Hong Kong now. Given we have an increasing number of paying client base now, would management feel that going forward it will be increasingly more difficult for us to acquire new customers? Are we considering gradually shifting our focus from the number of customers into average AUM or the quality of customers? We do appreciate the new customer guidance that management talked about just now, that Hong Kong new customers guidance in 2024 would be similar to 2023. Second question is on self-clearing in US stocks. May I confirm that all of our trades in US has already been self-cleared. In addition to the positive impact on our net interest income, do we see any improvements in terms of our trading execution efficiencies by using self-clearing? Wondering if we can make any comparisons with our competitors in the US, such as Interactive Brokers, etc. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leo. I let Leaf to take the first question, and I will answer the second one.
感谢提问，我来回答那个关于香港的问题。香港市场是我们的大本营。2023年，我们在香港的年轻人群体当中，就是持续保持着一个非常高的渗透率。我们在其他年龄段的人口渗透率也在稳步的提升。那么截止到第4季度，富途在香港35到55岁人群中的有资产客户渗透率已经超过了10%。在香港市场，我们的目标是高质量的增长，我们是着重获取高质量客户，并且针对存量客户去做精细化的运营。因此，在市场行情疲软的时候，就是我们会在净入金方面依然能看到它是保持着一个非常强劲的势头。就未来我们会更好的去利用富途在全品类的优势，就延续对不同的资产量级和投资需求的人群去做分层运营的策略，并且会持续去关注净入金的趋势。谢谢。
The Hong Kong market is our home base, and in 2023, we continue to maintain very high penetration among the younger clients, and we also steadily improve our penetration into clients from other age groups. As of the end of Q4, our paying client penetration among the adults aged 35 to 55 in Hong Kong was over 10%. And in Hong Kong, our goal is to achieve high quality growth. And we focus on acquiring high quality clients and also focus on attracting net asset inflow from existing clients. That's why during Q4 and also in the past where market sentiments were weak, we continue to see very robust net asset inflow from Hong Kong. And going forward, we'll leverage our comprehensive product offerings and have different operational strategies for clients with different asset amount and different investment needs. And we'll very closely track the net asset inflow trend in Hong Kong. Thank you.
For the second question, you're right. We have already largely complete the US self-clearing so far. And I think actually the positive contributions from this migration will continue thanks to the increased client assets cohort and also the contributions from the new markets such as Japan and Malaysia. And in terms of the operating efficiency, definitely, after the self-clearing capabilities, our service downtimes versus before has been meaningfully decreased. And also the trading execution in terms of the reporting, etc., will be more smooth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, you can press star 1 and 1 on your keypad. We will now take our next question. Please stand by. The next question is from the line of Peter Zhang from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
谢谢管理层给我提问的机会，我是摩根大通的 Peter。我的第一个问题是关于利息收入，这个季度利息收入环比有所下降，我想请教一下管理层，背后的原因是什么？可否请管理层分别讲解一下客户闲置资金的情况，还有我们利率的一些银行存款利率的一个趋势。然后我想问一下一季度以来我们客户的闲置资金余额的情况的最新的变动趋势是如何的。第二个问题我是想问一下关于成本端的，我想问一下管理层对于2024年我们增员的一个 headcount 的一个增员的一个情况有没有一个指引，然后管理层对于我们2024年成本端的增长还有成本收入比的一个变化有没有一个指引。我翻译一下。My first question is about the interest income. We noticed that interest income have been decreased sequentially in first quarter. We wish to understand what's the fourth quarter trend for clients' idle cash and Futu's deposit rates. And I also wish to understand what's the trend in first quarter for clients' idle cash balance. My second question is about operating expense. I wish to understand what's Futu's plan for the headcount increase in 2024 and what's management's guidance for Futu's operating expense increase or say cost of income ratio trend. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I will take these two questions. For idle cash, roughly idle cash accounts for 10 to 15% of our total client assets in the past quarter, and also the similar situations happened in the first quarter so far. And the decrease of the interest revenue in the fourth quarter, as I mentioned in the open remarks, is mainly due to the decrease of the average balance decrease for the security borrowing and the lending. Despite if you see the balance sheet date, the margin and the security lending balance was higher than that in the third quarter. Then for your second half questions, in terms of headcounts, we are looking for mid to high single digit headcount growth. Mainly will be deployed for our international market expansion and further enhance our R&D capabilities. Unfortunately, we do not have a cost-income ratio guidance. Given the nature of our business, our revenue is very volatile. It's very difficult to predict due to the market volatility. So we will more focusing on the people side, given this is one of the largest cost components for our overall cost structure. Thank you.
谢谢，非常清楚。Thank you.
Thank you. And this does conclude the question and answer session. So at this time, I would like to hand the conference back to Daniel Yuan for closing remarks. Thank you.
That concludes our call today. On behalf of the Futu management team, I would like to thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or any of our investor relations representatives. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. This does conclude today's conference call. Thank you for participating, and you may now disconnect.